Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. It really does seem like I'm just milking Banshee videos. If you have been following me on YouTube, you know that I've created a lot of Banshee one-shot videos at this point. But as the game keeps progressing, as new tech gets discovered, and I myself, put myself in the way of actually trying things out, I definitely want to keep sharing this. Just a couple days ago, before this recording, I actually made one that it looks like this. But that run is actually 10 seconds, about 10 seconds slower than what you're seeing on screen right now, if you could believe it or not. Basically, the credit goes to one of the YouTube commenters, Emre Donertosh. Apologies if I mispronounced the name, but he basically said that, you know what, use Daydream Joker on Strays, you already have 100% crit rate because you have Midnight Bloom on Blue Chloe. And I'm just like, wait, does Daydream Joker actually hit harder than 6-stack Hellcutter, which is what I needed to guarantee the kill in my previous rendition? I had to basically force Chloe to do an S2 and allowing her to be fast enough to do an S3 before Strays even gets a turn in order to get 6 Hellcutter stacks in order to get the kill. So as soon as I saw his comment, I did it. I stopped my run, I put Daydream Joker on, and I just saw the damage. It was about 10,000 damage more, actually maybe less than that, but close to 10,000 damage more than what he hit previously with Hellcutter even stacked at 6. So that gave me an idea. I'm like, okay, if he does about like 10,000 damage more, that means I can possibly make Chloe slower and therefore allowing her not to do the S3. So you're skipping an animation, a full animation, which is about like 5 seconds for the animation, but like about 2-second lead into the animation, 2-second after the animation, because you have to see the damage numbers and hitting Banshee. And so I was like, oh, okay, wait, this is really good, because it solves one of the issues that I had with my previous run, and which I mentioned in that video. If you watched that video, I was saying that I think if I can somehow make Strays stronger or hit harder, I can skip Chloe's animation entirely. And again, thank you to the YouTube commenter with that brilliant comment, that brilliant observation that I could run Daydream Joker just because I don't have any crit rate issues. That was the game changer. So as you saw there a couple runs. It's really quick. I timed this a full 30 run. It was only about 25 minutes. So we're talking about less than a minute per run, which is really efficient. Again, I'm going to show the stats. I showed before, but just in case you're watching this brand new and you don't know what I'm talking about, I just want to treat this video as if it's the first time you're seeing this team. So this is my Strays, and he's on my Sigret, Wyvern one-shot Sigret set, which is why he has so much effectiveness. And then the crit rate is at 87 because on Sigret, they share the same star sign, so same base stats. A Sigret with crit Wyvern just because elemental advantage. Strays, obviously I thought that I needed Hellcutter, but again, due to the observation that I'm already a Midnight Bloom anyway, you're gonna get 100% crit, Daydream Joker actually hits harder, so it makes this work. So I'm just gonna quickly flash the stats here, just in case you need to find your stats. The 3 speed here is actually very non-optimal. I could actually make it into flat attack. Actually, I just realized that on this video. So very behind on the times. It is triple S, of course. If you have a copy of Strays, you can use gold transmit stones to 50 gold transmit stones to be exact, to triple S him. What else is, oh yeah, Pablo, of course. It is a 3-man team. Pablo, I explained in the previous video, but I'll explain this one as well. If you can hit this kind of high stat line in terms of the damage, you probably don't need to molar this, especially molar to the max, to kill wave 1. He has elemental advantage versus all blue, and so you could run him on Daydream Joker if you don't have Iron Fan plus 30, and in this you might have to plus 5 though. It depends again how much damage you're doing before Strays kills. If you don't have enough damage from Chloe herself, you probably do need to max this, and Daydream Joker would give him some good damage here, but Iron Fan I think does more, 32% more damage than Daydream Joker on Banshee, that is. You want him on the attack EE. To maximize your stats on Pablo, you most likely want to run the highest crit chance EE, but you want the second EE here that grants a attack buff to the highest attacker outside of himself. Okay, so he already self buffs, but this EE is really good for this. Pavel, I was asked in the previous video in terms of the comment section, is there anyone that could replace Pavel? I would say no, not at the moment. Basically, Pavel is self-sufficient in terms of he can attack buff and kill wave 1 by himself, and then also supply attack buffs. In other Banshee runs, you most likely run an outside attack buffer, or someone that could clear wave 1 with an attack buff. So a very, very, very strong Green Charles might be able to do it, but Green Charles does, in terms of animation, he does take longer for his S3 animation in wave 1, and then S2 in wave 2 on Banshee. I think he's slightly longer. I don't know if he could actually output as much damage as Pablo though. But yeah, that's just my opinion. You could try him, but I'd say Pablo is still quicker. Then the last one, it would be Chloe, because again, 3-man team. Midnight Bloom, exactly on the dot in terms of the crit rate with the 16% crit rate. I actually had her on 5-piece speed set in the previous video. She was at 177 speed. That was the speed needed for her to do S2, and she 50% CR boost herself, and then into S3 before Strays gets his S3 turn. That causes 6 Hellcutter stacks in order to get the kill. Now I don't need that because Daydream Joker could do the work, so I slowed her down on purpose and then just gave her some really, really crappy gear that had just, you know, higher damage. It doesn't really matter, the damage actually doesn't really matter here, because she's not molded and she's not even level 60. But I was just like, okay, this is pretty good. Mainly I was aiming for the speed. The speed was just basically anywhere below, I think, 150 speed, and you're guaranteed that Strays will get the turn before she does. But I just didn't want to even risk it, so I have her at 130 speed. I don't know the exact math to that. And of course, what makes this run work is the Magic Nail debuff, which ignores effect resistance. Any other comp that requires a target debuff or a defense break will have a 15% resistance check. So at the most, you have an 85%, or minimally, you have an 85% chance of winning. If you run double defense break or something like that, then of course you raise your probability. But this is 100% guaranteed run, plus it's lightning fast. Like I said, with a 30 run allowed by the 5-star pet, 30 runs, it takes 25 minutes, and I clocked this 25 minutes to beat this. Now, another thing is that I've been leveling friendship all day. Just an extra tip here. In one of my friendship farming, I used Assassin Cartuja, who has lower base speed than Strays, at least my Strays. And so ideally it worked, but A-Card has a passive. If anyone misses him, he has a CR boost to himself. And that was enough to kind of slow down some of my runs, because if Banshee, she hits 2 targets randomly, if she hit Cartuja and Cartuja actually dodges, then he has a CR boost, so he'll do like an S1 or his S3. I turn off his skills, but if you have a friendship hero that is faster than your Strays, whatever your Stray speed is, if it's faster, then what you have to do is probably turn on the skills. Yes, turn on the skills. This will make the run slower, but if you turn off the skills, what would happen is that if they do an S1, they can draw in a Pavel attack, which is pretty high damage if you have him built like mine, or you could draw in the Strays S1, which is also really high damage because he's built as the full damage dealer. If you do that, you might push Banshee through her summon threshold, and then you miss the run entirely. But if your friendship hero has no gear on, like most of my friendship heroes, has no gear on, their S3 won't do any damage anyway, so you're pretty much safe to do that. This Araminta doesn't have that issue. I was trying to run Pirate Captain Flan as well, but Pirate Captain Flan has 115 speed, and Strays, mine has like what, 112 I believe on the stat line. So like sometimes he gets the turn, sometimes ML Flan gets the turn, and it just, for the consistency and the time that I want reduced, I didn't want that RNG at all, so I threw her out. But if you aren't caring about how efficient you are on your hunt buff, let's say you have limited leaf anyway, you don't plan on spamming Skystone, then don't worry about that third person, like the fourth rather, cutting your Strays. Just again, like I said, make sure they're ungeared and keep the skills on. You don't want the S1 to dual attack into your damage dealers. Anyways, I believe that this will be the very, very last Banshee one-shot video that I will probably ever make. Maybe. unless there's something that's even faster than this in the future, which I highly doubt. The only way it could be faster than this is honestly if either Pablo's animation or Strays' animation, like whoever is the new character has like shorter S3 animation. That's like literally the only way I think that this could be any faster or any more guaranteed. The guaranteed part comes from Chloe. So anyways, that's it for this video. Again, thank you for the YouTube comments. Again, like sometimes there's that golden nugget, and I definitely give a big shout out to that commenter. So anyways, for the video recording, I'm just gonna end this here. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.